Each time I try to find peace, feelings aching far and deep. Yate. Good evening, everyone. We would like to take this time to acknowledge our traditional owners and ancestors of these tribal lands we reside on here at Ogapoge Owinge, also known as Santa Fe. We reside here and thank you all for blessing us. It is Native American Heritage Month, which means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And to me, every day is Native American Heritage Day because this is First Nations land, this is Turtle Island, this is Indigenous land, and for that we are honored to be here. So we're so excited and honored to have our multi-award winning duo, Sihison. Sihison is a brother and sister that have Janita and Clayson Benali have been collaborating since the 90s. And I actually met them in San Francisco in 94 at a big Native American festival that had Shaka Khan performing there as well and some other big names in music. And it was really exciting to see some young relatives, super young. He must have been, what, 14 and 15 at the time, maybe 16, 17. But their skin color matched mine. And I went, wow, are these relatives? And yes, indeed they are. They're from Black Mountain. So that was my first meeting of Sihison. Back then they were Blackfire, and it was a three band group with their brother, who's no longer with them at this time. But they were amazing. You guys sounded really good back then. It was heavy metal. It was powerful lyrics, and now your Sihison changeover is just groundbreaking, phenomenal music. And we know that you speak to your songs about the importance of cultural maintenance along with recovery from colonialism, particularly on Black Mountain, where a lot of devastation has happened, and the people continue to stand, the people continue to resist, and the people continue to live, although we have lost many because of this, that, and the other, which I hope we have time to talk about this evening. So everyone tonight, please welcome Sihison to our show. Yay! All right.
Michaela,
Oh,
thank you so much. Yeah, Hasniflo, Clayson Benali Dashajine, the Tithajin date Yisina. Thank you for having us. We are originally from Black Mesa, Big Mountain, and part of our traditional upbringing is to introduce ourselves with our who we are as our. I know a lot of people today they do landed acknowledgement, but for us, we were always gifted with that information that you acknowledge your ancestors, your mother, Shama e Pilakana, Be'ethachi, Nishle, Ashkenazi, Nishle. That's on my mother's side that I come from the red coat people. Also, Todich Itni Bashishchin, Anani Todich Itni. We are originally from, I guess the history goes, pertaining to the Eagle people. Then as time passes along, we became Todichini, the Bitterwater people, and then that's on our father's side that we were born into Polish Eshiche, the Nakai Dene Etashinele, the people known as the Wandering People. Those are our paternal grandparents. In this way, we are Dene. This is my sister Eshede Janita, and we're grateful to be here. Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks. It's an honor to be here with you all, and we're excited to be able to share a little bit about the work that we do, the music that we make, and we're just really honored to be able to be here with all of you. And I see some people putting in the chat where you're from, and we definitely want to acknowledge that as well. The ancestral homelands that you are on.
Yeah, thank you. So let's get this beautiful show started off with why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your background and that kind of thing, because we want to know.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. This is my brother, Shitsile, my little brother, and Tash Ne'e Shede, you are my older sister. By clan, we are related. And so we grew up in Black Mesa in near Big Mountain, in the heart of a land dispute. And we grew up at the hems of our grandmother's skirts, going to protests, learning about justice, injustice, inequality from such an early age that that it just really became an ingrained part of us, that we realized that we are given a voice. You know, when we're born, we were given this voice, and so we utilize our voices um, to create awareness about different issues that are happening on our homeland. And for us, at first, it, you know, closest to us was the relocation of our people, the Diné people. And for those of you who are not aware of our people of Diné, more known as Navajo, we're from within the Four Sacred Mountains of the Four Corners region in the southwestern region of the United States. We're one of the largest indigenous peoples, land-based and census-based as well. And so for us, because of our strong connection to the land, um, we we grew up resisting, and we grew up resisting because there was a coal mine called Peabody Coal Mine, which was relocating our people, and it was government policy as well that was intertwined with that. And so because of that, we grew up just being, I guess, being as loud as we possibly could in order to make noise and get attention for these issues.
I think it's fascinating too, at this time and place in history, you know, what we endured and what we as people, indigenous people, connected to the land, being directly from where fossil fuel extraction was displacing our people, going back to the 70s. You know, I'm 44 years young, but when I was born, there was a bulldozer uprooting my umbilical cord from the place that my mom had sought to, you know, ensure that this is where my home would be, that connection, my sacred connection to place, to earth, to our ancestors. All of that was being taken out by a bulldozer in the name of, you know, basically conquer, divide, let's access those resources, move these indigenous populations out so we can get to one of the largest, richest coal deposits in North America. Right now, you think of COP23, the, you know, in Belarus, the one of the largest or in Glasgow, you know, all the world leaders coming together talking about, you know, these environmental issues, climate justice. That's something that our elders have been crying out, been speaking out until their voices were no more, until, you know, our earliest memories, you know, our elders had said, you know, this earth is a living entity. This is sacred. The elements that you're trying to extract, that you're trying to take from this earth, when you rape her, when you rape our mother, it's going to leave these impacts. This is what is going to happen. This is what you're going to see, from viruses, sickness, to climate change. But nobody was talking about in those regards. When the earth is sick, it has a fever. When she's got chills, she shakes, you know, all these steps, you know, looking at how our elders knew, and, you know, going back time immemorial from our traditional history, our stories, oral traditions, it talks about prophecies, you know, what is going to happen if there's that imbalance that humans create again, because this is something that we have seen in the past. There's a lot of history, a lot of stories.
There are.
But it's just something that for me, you know, growing up as a youth, hearing our elders going, even as a youth, to the United Nations, to the draft Declaration of Indigenous Peoples' Rights, speaking right after the United States government on land and resources, and how the United States was saying, oh, we don't have a problem with our indigenous people, and thinking about like how those coal mines and those treaties, all these things are constructs of the United States government, and the BIA, even the Bureau of Indian Affairs, how all these things are established to control us, to control our people, the land, the resources, all of those things. So it's, I think we're finally at a stage where there's that awareness and understanding of the injustices, the atrocities that have and are continuing to occur. And that's the foundation. That's where we come from. Our voices, our amps, we're all geared to 11 to 12.
Especially on the drums. Clayson loves to turn his drums up to, 11 and 12.
But that's our platform. That's how to communicate and to express ourselves, and carrying that legacy from our elders, from Roberta Blackgoat, from Catherine Smith, Pauline White Singer, all the way on. There's a lot of beautiful new future generations, some outspoken leaders that we have that are doing beautifully. It's something that we shouldn't have that burden. This is something that this earth belongs to all of us. We should be living in a peaceful, harmonious way, understanding, respect for each other and one another. But that's unfortunately not the way of the world today. So that's why these stories and this history from our elders and that legacy continues onwards.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's very heavy stuff. It's right to my heart for sure, because I come from over this way, Oak Ridge way. So it means a lot. So I think what we really want to know is, you said so much just right there, but what keeps your Black Mountain fire going? I mean, what really sustains you, knowing that you've been playing music since the early 90s and you're still going, and that makes you very seasoned travelers, performers, activists, spokespeople, representatives for the Navajo Nation on a world stage, and of course into the cosmos as well, because the universe hears your songs too. What keeps you going?
I think that's very individual, I think that we probably have different answers for that. Maybe.
I don't think so. I think we're all on the same path.
Yeah.
To live. Our grandmother, her wishes were to just ensure that there was a place for her children, that those roots that she carried on from those seeds that were planted from our ancestors, that there was a place for us to plant our seeds, that we could have place for our sheep to graze, all those traditional life ways about sustainability, about being connected to the earth. Those were things that were teachings, and I think it's right now in this day and place, it's hard for people to feel that connection, to understand that we are a people of this earth, that we breathe the same air, that we need that clean, precious, pure water, that all these elements that are surrounding us, that sustain our life, that those things are sacred. So knowing that we have a responsibility, an inherent right, as people of this earth, to speak, to use our voice in whatever manner, whether it's with creativity, with the art forms, from music to even food. All these cultural teachings are ways to educate, to ensure that people understand who we are, where we come from, and the wishes of our elders, of our protecting this for our future generations. So it's continuance.
And I think personally for me, it's hope. Hope keeps me going. It's when I see our youth speaking our language, or when I see them taking an interest in our in connecting with the environment. It's when I see people connecting, just really connecting with each other. That gives me hope, because when we're connecting with each other, we are breaking down the stereotypes. We're breaking down all of prejudices that we have because we're communicating, we're asking questions, and we're building bridges. And so for me, that's what keeps my fire going is those connections and that hope.
Also, we've got some amazing, beautiful kids, and for me, that's the most precious, powerful gift, to be able to see the world through their eyes, to understand how they perceive things, and get those teachings. My 5-year-old, she's going to be 6 actually tomorrow. So
Wow. Happy
Wow.
birthday.
her name's Zani. Today was part of their cultural day at Pointe de Hajon at the school that she goes to.
Oh, nice.
And she was so excited to just wear her hair up in a tielle. She had her, full traditional dress. It's funny because I know my dad would always scold people. He'd be like, "It's your clothes, be proud. Your moccasins, your kechi, those things are, it's, some people separate it. It becomes so far removed from us, but that remembrance of, no, this is your clothes." So afterwards, she was playing, like she just wanted to play, and I didn't want to have her change out of her beautiful velvet dress. I didn't want to see it get ruined, but at the same time, it's like that remembrance that, no, these are her clothes, and that's what she feels comfortable in. And just those small moments are just important. It's reconnecting.
That's beautiful. Bahojonit Ishche, your daughter, happy birthday to you. It's a good thing that you were born. So you're gonna grow up to be the voice of the Navajo Nation one day. So thank you for sharing that information with us. There's something about moccasins, wearing moccasins, that I don't like the word pride because I like humility a lot better. But there's something about cultural pride when I wear my moccasins. I think Homer Hubble, you're here with us tonight, brother. You can relate to me. If we got some board members on tonight. So, well, thank you for saying that. So now I would like to ask you if you wouldn't mind singing us a song.
I think we're going to sing this song that Zani actually wanted us to sing today. It's called
Awesome.
Strong Together. And we had our kids actually sing on the album. Right now, what we're going to share with you is a little bit more stripped down to balance it out for Zoom for this particular format. Sometimes the drums can be a bit overwhelming. So we're going to strip it down and keep it more roots.
Okay.
So make sure y'all can hear that bass.
We hear you great.
Okay. So this song comes off of our Fight Like a Woman album, and we had the fantastic, incredible opportunity to record with our producer Ed Stasium. We always love to talk about him because he's such a legend. And so if you have an opportunity, please check out some of his amazing work. Ed Stasium. Ready?
We can, we will, we are strong together.
We can, we will, we are strong together. We can, we will, we are strong together. We can, we will, we are strong together. Na 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 na. Wasn't always perfect, but nothing ever is. Seems like it's been forever since it all began. My hand extends to yours. Meet halfway, a dangerous kind of silence. We shall overcome. We can, we will. We are strong together. We can, we will. We are strong together. weakness, not about you or me, a push and pull confrontation. Let's cut the strings. Is it all or nothing? We're not fantasy. When we stand together, we shall overcome. We can, we will. We are strong together. 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 Na 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 na.
Na 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 na.
Bully, push down, tumble around and got shot down. Bully, push down, tumble around and got shot down. Bully, push down, tumble around and got shot down. Bully, push down, tumble around and got shot down. In this together. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Strong together. Time is of the essence. Don't let it slip away. 365 reasons. Hey, now it's today. Let's start from the beginning. Create a better dream. Say, can't you see? Together we shall overcome. We can.
We will. We are strong together. We can. We will. We are strong together. We can. We will. We are strong together. We can. We will.
We are strong together. We can, we will. We are strong together. We can, we will. We are strong together. Nothing we will. Strong together. Nothing we will. Strong together. Nothing we will. Strong together.
Wow. Yes. Yes, we are strong together. Thank you very much.
Johnny.
We need to hear that right now. We really need to hear that right now. The diversity, whoa, come together. That's powerful.
We actually wrote that song to bring awareness to police brutality and missing, murdered Indigenous women, and the fact that we all need to unify in terms of making this world a better place, making this a more equal world. That we all need to come together. Sorry, I have really bad allergies, and we turned off the air purifier. It's a little rough in here for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you sound great. So, thank you for that. And I know that back in the day, you played kind of heavy metal. And what genre do you classify your music as today? Because that's always a question.
Well,
That
I would
Go
actually
ahead.
say that it was not quite heavy metal. We had a lot of influences early on as Blackfire. I know coming from a traditional perspective, our father, Jones Benali, he's a Hatathi. So as you know, growing up with that as our foundation, also going to powwows, a lot of our songs were oftentimes we'd use traditional structures, and with Blackfire, we didn't really learn like most people do with like going to school and picking up an instrument. We picked up instruments as toys, and we just started actually fidgeting around with them, making our own songs and coming up with melodies. And our mother, who's a singer-songwriter, Berta Benali, comes from the folk industry, the folk scene, going way back to the Greenwich scene, where there were beatniks just before the hippies kind of made that wave and moved to California. So we have all these amazing people coming out to our region. She was a promoter, she is a promoter, so she'd bring like Richie Havens, Taj Mahal, Buckwheat Zydeco, Jackson Brown, people out into the Southwest, and a lot of times for bringing awareness and attention to what was happening up in Big Mountain. And that one of the first kind of water is life benefits that took place in the 70s. That was I think it was the 70s. No, it was 80s.
It's the 80s.
It was early 80s, but it was like Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Brown, Jesse Colin Young, but to bring attention and awareness to Black Mesa. So when we were growing up, it was blues, folk, and then later reggae became a big thing up in Hopi. So just like being exposed to some of the best reggae, like artists from remote regions in Jamaica coming out, because that was like a hub, Havasupai.
Okay,
Hopi.
so Jamaica's not that big.
No, but there's like the real thing. We get the real thing.
The real
out in
deal.
the middle of nowhere in Hopi.
No, we did the middle of the universe.
That's the center of the universe, right?
You're gonna get in so much trouble.
But just those were kind of part of those, like that foundation. So when we started as Blackfire, we were like all over the place. We had some reggae, some ska, some blues, and then it wasn't till the Ramones took us in, and the godfather of punk rock, Joey Ramone, later I think he titled us as Fireball Punk. That was the label that he eventually kind of gave to us. So I felt like, wow, that's, if the godfather of punk rock says you're Fireball Punk, that's what we were as Blackfire.
That's what you are, right on.
And in this phase, this incarnation with Sihasin, it's very roots, bass, drums, were that backbone, and it's
right.
unique because we have that opportunity to incorporate a lot of our traditional drums, and a lot of the song structure is based off of either it's intertribal or traditional social Navajo songs that we use that as the bedrock, the foundation for our song structure and a lot of our material.
I feel like it's a little bit more like edgy world music, and where it's kind of this our music has become this conglomeration of our experiences, the positive and the negative, and it's kind of become a prayer personally for putting out into the universe to empower people, to inspire hope, and to incite culture.
Much respect to the both of you, and your mother and father and all of you staying on this road, because I know it's not an easy road, but it's a beautiful road, meeting a lot of different people. That's amazing. So the next question I wanted to ask you is, it kind of comes to my attention that you're motivated by the grassroots movement. You're motivated, your inspiration comes from Black Mountain, which that's my absolute inspiration as well. I get it. So Big Mountain is a very pivotal place for me as well, because my mother, Kathy, was born there, and she should be on the show tonight. Hi, Mom. Hi, Harry. Yat Eshima. So, gosh, I don't even know what to say. So I know what we want to ask. Now we want to ask, what does your collaboration look like? Like, who does the melody? Does your mom do the writing? I mean, how do you guys put your beautiful music together? What does that combination of collaboration look like creatively?
It's varied, you know. We collaborate in different waves. Either we're here in the studio or else we're in dreams. Like it's really you know, Clayson and I were you know, we've been playing music together our whole lives. Before that, we were skateboarding together. Before that, we were like, you know, we've done everything together. And so we share a lot of the, I feel like we share a lot of the creative journey together. Like he'll come up with like words. Actually, we were just writing a song the other day, and it was pretty exciting because he came up with these words, and I had a melody.
Oh,
We just It just kind of happens like that.
I think a lot of times when we're, there's something, it's like catching a song, where you hear it, and then I'll write down the fragment, the piece of the puzzle that maybe I'm meant to hear. Then Janita will, come in here and we'll sit down. We're rehearsing, getting ready for a show, and then we'll just start jamming and playing them. It's like, oh, I've got this idea, and all of a sudden, it's like this is what I was dreaming about or had written about, and then all of a sudden, it's like the puzzle pieces just all fall into place. So it's a very natural, organic, thing where I don't. If we had to like hammer it out, and we've
Well,
done
we have
workshops
actually
and
our newest song, "We the People," which we're gonna hopefully, if I can sing, because all the pollen's in the air right now.
right.
This song, and we've done other collaborations with other people as well. We did a collaboration with the Okie Dokie Brothers. We've done a collaboration with other artists that are close to our hearts, where
the
we
late
have
Randall Craig Fleischer with the
yes, with a
symphony.
symphony called Triumph.
Mm.
There's been some amazing. I think we're blessed, that we have this opportunity. For myself, I don't consider myself a musician. As a drummer, it's like a language, just communicating, listening, hearing, and interpreting, and trying to uplift whatever other elements are part of that soundscape. So when we play, it's more of that journey. So it's just being present, being aware, hearing, feeling, and allowing that emotion to come through. So that way, whoever's hearing it, I used to play, especially with Blackfire, like sometimes I used to play with intention in my snare drum. Just like there's like to cut through so people would hear and feel emotion. And I think we have that ability with music, where when we sit down, it's like, let's do that journey. Let's, and it's different than other musicians, because I play drums, and it's hard to write without, some people use a guitar or piano or something to give them, an exact sound background or something of that nature. And coming from a traditional vocalist, when you think of like the powwow songs or traditional songs, it doesn't fit in some of those time signatures or some of those timelines, and you have to be spatial and just allow it to breathe and to feel. So it's a whole other process, where which kind of creates our unique sound, I think.
Yeah, but I think every song is kind of birthed differently, and that really is what it is kind of a birthing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you sometimes have these melodies that are chants that come in your head, and then you just start doing the chant, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, it's just there's a hook in this. Let's record it. Where's your quick time? Where's your quick voice? Where's your phone? Hit record, and then you record it, and all of a sudden, have you ever done that before? Like with chanting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of our songs, Shine, that came to me, was like, composing traditional songs, a lot of times, learning to sing from my dad, where we'd just be driving down the road and just start singing. And even when you're in a ceremonial setting, you're always encouraged, you go into a ceremony, you don't know the words to the song, you just use your voice, you uplift.
Nice.
Everybody in that space is supposed to just give some of that power, their strength to ensure that patient's well-being, to help them heal. And that's part of that group dynamic of it's different because it's not like your standard harmonies or three parts. It's like, when people are singing a lot of the traditional styles, it's like where that power is, where that energy is, and how to focus it. There's a lot of techniques that are very unique, I think, for Indigenous singing.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting. I went through my Navajo rap period in the early '90s, and that was a real blast. But so with your music, and as long as you've been doing it, growing up together, doing it, and having such an inspiration as your mother being from the folk genre, which is my preferred music to listen to and write to, and your father being a Hatali, um, what is the message that you want to leave with the audience when they walk away from your shows or listening to your CDs or your iTunes, or if they want to just purchase one song and listen to it every morning before they wake up and use it as their alarm clock song, or what do you want us to walk away with?
Well, that's the reason why we chose, or the name Sihasin chose us. I feel like there's things that are lost and forgotten. I remember growing up as a youth that, wasn't cool to be Indigenous, wasn't cool to be Navajo, Dene, to even know your clans. Like most people my age range going back, very few people had any awareness of that they were tied to a culture. And there's definitely more than a movement, a remembrance that's occurring. So using those words such as Sihasin, saying, it's a statement, that we do this for hope. This is not just for us. It's not a word that belongs to us. This is as a collective, as a community, to see that we have to do better. We have to do more for our future generations. Things are not perfect, and we struggle. We have these hardships, but those challenges are lessons, and it gives us that ability to be those healers, to be there for each other, to help and to assist in whatever crises or traumas that we're trying to overcome in this stage. There's a lot to it. I feel
Beautiful.
for me that's part of the healing process. The music is that journey for healing.
Yeah.
I'd like for people to feel empowered when they walk away, that they feel like their voice matters, that their voice is powerful, that our voices, traditionally are used for healing, but they can also be used for hurting. And so I hope that when people walk away from our performance, or dance away, they groove away from one of our performances, I hope that they feel really empowered to utilize their voice to create positive change in their communities. Because when all, even starting small, what one feels is small is a huge ripple, and that impacts other communities when somebody creates positive change in your own your own corner of the world.
That sounds like Sihasin to me. As you were talking, both of you, I was thinking about Sihasin, just the prosody of that word. Sihasin, like Ayoanoshinin, Maori, Arohanui, Sihasin. I was thinking, what if somebody names themselves Tsotilsen? Wouldn't that be something?
So
Which
does it to
everybody,
be a prayer.
yeah,
I
to be
know
fair,
some
Tsotilsen.
prayers. I have a nephew that's a prayer, but
Yeah,
it doesn't go
it's
by
an
Sodizin. But
Oh,
a
okay.
prayer in English. And that's the thing, is that we have to we have to we're at this point, this critical point with Indigenous cultures, that we have to take bold steps to ensure our culture. And like, I think about my father's generation, the boarding school era, and he was always so quiet about sharing our culture, about he grew up with that fear of boarding schools, of the BIA, of it being illegal to practice our culture. And so that was his understanding. And so we grew up with that. But it's like, it seems like every generation that has stepped away from the boarding school era has become more bold. Like now we have Rock Your Mocks, and that was created by at the time a teenager from, I can't remember which
Was it
pueblo.
Lacuna, maybe? Or
But she was a teenager at the time when she took
Hmm.
literally took that step in her moccasins and said, "Rock your mocks." And that was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And so, and today now we see kids going to school, you know, in their moccasins, or going to school with, you know, with their TL, and it's beautiful and it's so empowering. And, you know, just the other day, you know, I saw a girl dressed traditionally at the high school, and I was like,
Mm,
wow,
beautiful.
think about that. And I think about the previous generations, and there was so much fear associated, and rightfully so. You know, our parents, even our generation, we still had to deal with the boarding schools. And, you know, even in, you know, when I was a kid, and actually the school that my brother's daughter goes to is the same school that took my language from me,
Oh,
and knowingly so. You know, I was in a program they told me that my accent was too thick and they had to get rid of it. So, and I wasn't allowed to speak English at the school. And
it was like a disability, is how they
yeah,
viewed
they
it.
told me that it would be a disability, and that it would keep me from being successful in life, to have a strong Dene accent.
ah,
Or
And
to have our
so,
language.
but now my brother's daughter goes to this school, and this school is the building. It's not the same school, but it's the building. It's the same building. Now is steeped in culture, is steeped in language, is steeped in the beauty of celebrating our Indigenous identity.
Not just
That is
Navajo, but you know, it's a multilingual school in Spanish, immersion, as well as Navajo, Tenebazad.
immersion rocks. My aunt Emma Dixon was one of the first starters of the immersion school in Fort Defiance. She's up on Black Mountain at Oak Ridge with her sheep now. So she just retired this year. So we're kind of running out of time, guys. So love you, love you, love you. Can you finish us off with a song before we do a quick commercial break and invite all
Goodness,
our
I hope
buddies
so.
in?
Absolutely. We're going to do a
Go
song
for it.
called We the People. This is our latest. We have a single. This was created in collaboration, written for the American Music Abroad. I guess it's a unique project under the State Department promoting democracy and diplomacy. So we're kind of ambassadors under that program as well. So this song is called We the People, and there's so much meaning within it. Hopefully, I know we're running out of time, so the words, the meaning, you'll just have to listen and feel it.
We do have a music video on our YouTube that has, we highlight veterans, that three generations of veterans in our music video that are all Dene. And that's really important for us too, is that with this song is we wanted to make sure that that we're seen, you know, as Indigenous people. Like, I just want to say, like, you know, that it's incredible right now. We can see ourselves on the cover of Vogue through Quana. We can see ourselves, you know, on TV with Res Dogs. Like, we can see ourselves, you know, in all of these amazing places, and that's incredible. So we wrote this song also in the hopes of hopefully inspiring people to understand the true roots of democracy, and that visibly it comes from Indigenous peoples.
Yaha, 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 we da ha ya, we We are higher, higher, higher. We are higher, we are higher, we are higher, higher, higher. We are higher, we are higher, we the people, we the people stand united. We will rise like eagles fly in dawn's early light with liberty, justice, and equality. This is an honest song. Everyone has a right to belong. We the people, we the people, all relations, all beliefs, colors, and faiths, rainbows, diversity. Our strength is in our humanity. Janita went to the second or the third
So
verse.
you gave me a look. This is live.
2, 3, 4. This is an honor song. Everyone has a right to belong. This is an honor song. Everyone has a right to belong. This is our country, dream for equality. This is our country. We have to believe. This is our country. Yahweh, Yahweh, we are higher, we are way. We are higher, higher, higher. We are higher, we are higher, we are free. We the people, we the people, roots of democracy. Form the seed, branch the tree, from the Haudenosaunee to code talkers are heroes of history. This is an honor song. Everyone has a right to belong. This is an honor for everyone has a right to belong. This is an honor song. Everyone has a right to belong.
All right, everybody. Wow. Yeah, thank you very much. And everybody, if you want to know anything more about Sihasin, right below Wisdom Circle with Sihasin, very easy, sihasin.com, SIHASIN.com, where you can become friends and go to the website and buy all kinds of great music and merchandise. So thank you all very much. And the last question that I want to ask you is, what is your definition, just summed up, of thriving and purpose?
I think, wow, that's deep, but happiness. equality. And there's so much that I think
Thank
encompasses
them,
that
and then I'm on.
happiness. Oh, so it really is. It's that happiness of that
Oh,
hojo, to be in balance, to have that equality that exists, to have that balance, not only that harmony within ourselves, that harmony, that beauty within ourselves, but
yeah.
with our family, our community, our beautiful Nehama Nahastan, our Mother Earth,
Mm,
Father Sky, and all the beings that exist. That to me is
And
thriving in success.
I think for me, like that, the value of success, we have to look at it because, we were forced into a world where they said competition, cut your hair, surrender your beliefs, kill the Indian, save the
yeah.
man. So to
Yep.
go from that and, like my life, I should have been a shepherd. I should be out there herding my sheep. I still have sheep. I still have horses. I have that connection.
Mm,
But I know so many of my brothers and so many of our relatives that struggle with identity of like, who are we? What is our, sometimes there's that conflict between traditional, contemporary, who we are, whether you're urban, whether you're traditional, all those things. But it's not that complicated. We are here. We're still breathing. Our heartbeat has never stopped. It connects all the way back to white shell woman, to first man, first woman, all those teachings that we have. It's built, it's our foundation, it's our fabric. Even if you don't know it, there's still a source, and coming back to that source, just being human, breathing, being alive, enjoying your life, that breaks down so many more walls and shatters so many more ceilings for the next generation, and proves that here we are as people. That's who we are. We're human. And that's what everybody needs to understand worldwide, whether all different colors. We're finally coming out of a place of fear that we are this family, that we're not separate. Each person here in this place, in this world, has a special place, a connection, and we're brothers, we're sisters, we're family, and that we're not different. We all deserve to be here. We need that air, we need that water, we need the things that are precious and near and dear to our lives to continue for your children, for my children, for those generations to come yet.
Johnny, yeah, Yisabeth. That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, little brother and little sister.
Mm.
You mean so much to my heart. So also everybody out there, if you want to connect with Sihasin, you can find them on Facebook, YouTube,
We're on
Instagram,
TikTok as
TikTok. I mean, they've got an amazing mother that keeps them up to par, and she's a turquoise rock in my heart. Beautiful woman, Berta. Thank you. So it's everybody, sihasin.com, SIHASIN.com. Let's support our brother and sister. And I'm going to pass it over to Elena from New Zealand.
All right, a
She's here
big
in
shout out
Indonesia.
and thank you so much, Citizen, not only for the music, your activism, but your walk in action. And I've been admiring your T-shirts throughout the thing, as well as your music. So thank you for blessing us in the circle. I'm just going to go through a quick commercial break before inviting all our Zoomsters to come in. But in saying that, this is what's coming up next month. So our Wisdom Circle, we beam out live every Wednesday, the third Wednesday of each month. At 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And in December, we've got the beautiful cricket tiger, Muskogee, Cochiti Pueblo, and is German and Irish. If she looks familiar, is because she was featured on Native Magazine during Indian Market here in Santa Fe. Comes from this phenomenal artist family on both sides, or all sides actually. Wonderful youth who is going to be sharing her wisdom next month. So we're really grateful for that. So please make sure you put that in. Below me, you'll see all our social media. If you're on social media now, please like one of those pages or subscribe to us. We've also got at our website above me, IndigenousWays.org. If you want to find out what's been going on and what we're talking about in this section here, you can subscribe to our newsletter that we put out every now and then. But also, I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors. That is the Native American Advice Fund, the Santa Fe Community Foundation, Northern Rio Grande National Heritage Area, the NM is New Mexico. I had a little bit of a lapse there. The New Mexico Arts and West Staff and the National Endowment of the Arts. So we're very grateful for our sponsors making this happen. If it's your first time here, welcome. We've been beaming out since the 1st of April 2020 of how we could gather and keep everyone connected. Very proud to have supported over 135 Native American, LGBTQIA, Indigenous artists through this platform. And so thank you for your support as well. Also a big shout out to our board and also our individual donors that have kept us here. Last week, we went up to Black Mountain and also did another relief run. I think it was our 17th relief run to the Navajo Nation. And so we're very grateful for Peggy and also Stuart, who mainly funded this. We're also going to be going back the week of Christmas, specifically for the deaf and hard of hearing members in the Four Corners region. But we want to thank you all for supporting us during this platform. We've been able to fundraise over $165,000. Thanks to you to make all these runs possible. So thank you for making that happen. Also, after Thanksgiving, whatever you'd like to call it, on Tuesday, which is the 30th, it is Giving Tuesday. So we've got a QR. So if you hold your phone up to that funny little pattern there, it'll take you right over to our website, our donate page. So if you want to help us out, please donate there. If you're like me and have absolutely no money, well, send it to your friends if they're able to donate. This keeps us doing what we're doing here in this electronic circle, not only supporting our wonderful artists like Citizen, but also keeping all of us connected with that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And lastly, if you are not into the electronics, we've also got our postal box. But what does all this funding go towards? As you can see below, there's our wonderful interpreters. We've got on Sandra Dunn, and also we have Kaylee Lind, who we've had since the get-go. Two of these amazing interpreters, making access available for all. Also, all our shows have got no cost. They're free. So that's what all the funding does, and we're grateful for all of them. Now, I'm saying that with all that wonderful verb. This is that great time. If you're on Zoom, we'd love you to turn on your camera if you wish to ask Jada or Clayson some questions, or if you've got any comments while people are coming over. If you're in our social media, you want to put a question in the box, please do so. Or if you're super shy and don't want to be on the camera at all, please put in something in the chat. But while we're doing that, I just want to give a shout out while people are getting their bearings. There's been a lot of people on our social media pages. So thank you, all of you, for coming on and blessing us. Also, we've had a few people from Australia, so I want to give a shout out to Jay and Bluey there in Magnetic Island in Queensland, Australia. Also, we've got a couple of people in through Zoom that are beaming in, come in through Germany. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Some diehard fans. So we're really grateful for each and every one of you for coming in and being here. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Michelle. You're so awesome to be with us again. Thank you for being with us. Would you like to say some words?
Hello. from Michigan. I wanted to say how wonderful it is that you have continued the work of your ancestors, what your family has done. I greatly applaud you and keep up the good social activism work. Thank you.
Thanks for that,
Again.
Michelle. Great to see you. I'm just going to blurb over to the social media while people are figuring out their cameras. Rachel Pueblo, a board member, says, great show. Hilda, who's in Wisconsin. Thank you. KGC says, thank you. Angelina
Navajo.
out in Oregon. I don't know how I remember this. Maybe I'm making it up.
She's in Seattle.
Oh, there we go.
But
It's
she's
close.
from here.
Anyway, what Angelina says, and she's a deaf Indigenous, she says, wow.
Wow. That's awesome. And so let's hear from Donna. How's it going, Donna, in Ohio?
Hey there. Awesome. I've never heard of Siasen. Loved it. Great music. I'm going to have to go buy something, I'm sure now. I do, yeah, right. I do want everybody to support our Indigenous Ways Wisdom Circle. These are fabulous women who do incredible work. So love you.
Love you too.
Great to see you, Donna.
All right.
Thank you.
Monique, would you like to say something?
It's been a very beautiful experience to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to say hello to Arletta. That's my best friend in Lukachukai, our deaf Navajo elder who taught me sign language when I was 11 years old. Hi, Elder Arletta. I see Rodney. He's also deaf, but I don't see Arletta. Hi, Arletta. Anyways, there's Arletta. Hold on. She's saying hi. That's our sister, our elder sister from Lukachukai. So we got some deaf relations from back home. We've also got Tarini Pendleton that's saying thank you so much. And Homer Hubble, our Dene board member, great session. My best friend, Candy Jones, thank you all for your music, messages, and community. Indigenous Ways, Tasha and Elena. And did we get everybody? It's just a lot of beautiful. Ona Canus says awesome. I don't want to leave anybody out because we're all about not leaving anybody out. So let's say hello to our beautiful Love Amber. Amber, what's up, sister? This woman has been with us up to Black Mountain, man. She is a fierce, fierce warrior woman.
I love you.
We love
Thank
you too.
so much, Siasen.
Thank you. Okay, well, I want to give it up for our wicked, deadly, amazing ASL interpreters, Kaylee and Chandra. We are so honored to have you both. Thank you for going a little bit over today. I know we said 7 o'clock, but you're so awesome for being flexible. So without more to say, I'm just going to say we love you, Sihasin. We're going to continue to watch you and follow you and listen to you and pray for you. And we hope that our trails cross again in the near future. But before we go, let's say hi to Christine McDewitt from Columbus. Hey, Christine, how's your chickens?
They're pretty happy chickens today. It was 70 degrees.
Oh, blow that over here.
Yeah.
It'll be 40 and snowy and rainy tomorrow. So
all right, you can keep that.
Yeah, Christine's one of the sisters. Christine's one of the sisters that lets us camp at her beautiful house when we're on the road. So thank you for your hospitality too.
Anytime.
All
Come
right.
anytime you want.
We love you guys. Let's all have some dinner
We love you.
and let's say hi to Elena.
So before we do that and close off, I just want to give a shout out to Sihasin's mother, Berta. So please, let's give it up for Berta,
And her father.
Benali, and their father who's on. Thank you everyone for coming on, our ASL interpreters. But importantly, please, let's give it up for Sihasin!
I just want to say really quick, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. You know, there's
Thank you.
so much that is happening in the world, and the fact that you just took your time to come and hang out with us is so incredibly meaningful, and we just appreciate it. It's right here in our hearts. So thank you. Yeah.
And thank you for the
Aw.
efforts, the continued effort. Sounds like there's going to be a food run and people supporting. That's, I can't say enough to all the volunteers, the supporters, not just for what's happening here on Dinetra in the Navajo Nation, but people that are, just, I think we're in a place as humanity where we have this opportunity to transcend, and we're seeing humanity, we're seeing what it means to be caretakers of this land and of each other, nurturers. And it's a beautiful opportunity that we have. And I say thank you to every person that has already donated or supported in some facet.
Oh.
Ahiet Ayasabeth. Thank you, Sihasin and Ayo Anoshne. And in Elena's language, how do you say I love you?
Arohanui.
All right. See, we're first. Arohanui.
So with that, and I know
creation story.
Gordon just got it in. Honored to be with you all, Gordon and Carlon. Thanks for that. One more time, let's give it up for Sihasin. And we'll look forward to seeing all of you mob next month with cricket.
How do I get it back?